Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Hi, Sadhna. Hi, Himani. Hi, Mahesh. Hi, Nisar. Hi, Ajanta. Just give me a thumbs up if you are able to hear my voice. Hello. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Just give me a thumbs up if you are able to hear my voice and see the screen. Okay, Mahesh, Nisar, Sadhna. Sadhna, you're not able to hear my voice? Okay, great. Let's just wait for others to join in and you can all settle down. Mm. Okay, hi, Jastinder. Hi, Ajanta. Hi, Rosmin. So, everyone is safe indoors. I hope you are all healthy and safe in your houses. So, I think we can start the session. So, good evening, students. I think you all are interested for overseas education. So, just let me know which destination you people are looking for. You can comment on. Okay, so see a lot of students are interested in Canada. Nisar, Ajanta, Sadhana, Deep, Mani. Okay, great. Jaswinder, Phoebe. Wow, nice. Mm, mm. Okay, I think Donna is interested in New Zealand. Okay, Donna, Mr. Canada. Okay, Akanksha, Canada. Nice. Queen, Canada. Okay. So I think you all have settled in, and there is a lot of students who are interested for Canada. You can see some Germany and some New Zealand and some other countries as well. Okay, great. So, students, so today we are having a session on Canada actually. But in grassroots education, we do have support for other countries also, which we will be discussing tomorrow. So today's session is for Canada. Okay, so, so I think we are good to go. Should I start, or you want me to give you some more time? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay, Ajanta. Akanksha, am I audible and is the screen clear? Please give me a thumbs up. Okay, great, great. Everyone is able to hear. Okay, okay then. Okay. So today's session is about Canada. So destination Canada. So most of you have made up your mind that it is Canada that you want to go. So the first question that comes to mind is why Canada? Like, you're leaving your own country and going to a different country. You should have an idea why you want to go to Canada, and I think most of you do. So there is a hundred of reasons why you want to go to Canada, but the main important reasons why it is Canada is, first of all, it's a global qualifications that you would be getting, right? So global means something which after you have studied in Canada, you can go all around the world. And hello, am I audible? I think some students are not able to hear me. Hello, if it is clear, just type clear. No, okay, okay, okay. So I'll go ahead with the presentation. So the first question that comes to mind is why Canada? Okay. So the first and foremost thing is when you are going for an education, the qualification that you're getting should be a global one. That is, if you don't want to continue in Canada, you should be able to come back to India or go to any other country to do your job, right? So this qualification which you will be getting from Canada, whether it is a PG diploma or a bachelor's or a master's, it is known all around the world. So that is one main important thing when you go for education overseas. You should have a global education which can be used everywhere, right? So that is one benefit when you start studying in Canada, the degree that you will get will be global. Next is affordable education. So what do I mean by affordable education? So affordable education means when comparing with other countries like US, UK, Australia, which are also very good for education, the tuition fee is very much less compared to these countries. So, for example, I can show you what it will be average annual fee will be for a UG program, which is the undergraduate program, a bachelor's will be costing around 13,000 Canadian dollars to 20,000 Canadian dollars. Okay, that's an annual fee. And in case of PG diploma, postgraduate diploma, which is around 17,000 to $25,000. Now, if it is an MBA, it will be around 30,000 to 40,000. And if it's a diploma, a postgraduate diploma or a undergraduate diploma, it will be around 12,000 to $18,000, depending on the which institution you are going. Okay. So the best thing about Canada is the cost of studies and the living expense that the student has to go through will be really less. It will be affordable education for the students. So this is a very good benefit about Canada. Now, the next comes is a multicultural society and a healthy and safe community. What that means is once your parents are ready to leave you to some other country, what they really want is your safety. So, going to a country where you are not safe or there is some racist discrimination or there is not a multicultural society, it will be difficult for the students to survive there. But in case of Canada, it is ranked among the top countries, top safe countries for foreigners and immigrants to stay. So that is the main reason why many people from India are interested to go to Canada. Not just students, even there are immigrants or permanent residency people. Everyone want to go to Canada because of uh, this friendly environment that they get there. Then the next thing is possibility of paid internship. So not all countries give you this kind of facility of paid internship. What I mean by this is the in Canada, the Canada government wants co-op education, which means cooperative education. Okay. So cooperative education, what does that mean? Unlike in many countries where you are focused on the theoretical part of studies, in Canada you get a chance for practical part of studies. Okay. So co-op education is more like you get an hands-on experience, an exposure on industry-related things. Like what you're studying, you are doing it in practical. And that helps you in the future when other companies want sees your resume, you have an experience on that. Okay. So that is something which is really a benefit semesters in which you will be getting a co-op programs, and there are also internships like in summer and all, which will be like 15 days to 30 days, which may be paid or unpaid, and this co-op is usually paid, so which is a good news for students because you get to make an opportunity to earn as well during your studies and your hands-on experience also, right? So next is, uh, am I not clear? I got some messages like I'm not clear. Japlin, is it okay now? Hello. You can just type it's clear or not. What about others? Are you all able to hear? Okay, so I think others are able to hear. So I'll go ahead. Yes. So next is part-time opportunities. I'm sure many of you are excited about that because if you are going to study in India, you won't be getting this kind of opportunity as such as part-time opportunities. So that is a very interesting thing. So what do I mean by part-time opportunities? So when a student lands in Canada on the first day, from the first day that he joins the college, he is eligible for part-time, which is almost 20 hours a week. So 20 hours a week during your college days, and when you are in vacation, you can work full time also, which is like 40 hours a week. This is an additional benefit that students who go to Canada get, unlike in other countries where you're not allowed to do off campus part time, etc. So, the benefit that you get here is I can give you a small example. Like, see, this is the recent minimum wage of Canada. Okay, so have a look. So, I'll give you a small example. For example, if a student goes to Ontario, okay, now in Canada, uh, it's not the pay is not like in India, it's a monthly wage or something. It is hourly wage. This is fixed by the government. Okay, so for example, if a student goes to Ontario and he gets $14 per hour. So, do you all know what is the INR exchange for Canada? Can you please type on the comment? Okay, I think you're not able to see. Is it not clear? One second, I'll enlarge that. Is it okay now? Okay, so I'm getting some answers. Deep is 55, Dheeraj 70, Sadhna 55. Okay, great. Okay, so it is 55 to 60. I think today's rate is around 55. So, is it visible now? I think some students are facing some problem with the visibility. Is it okay now? Can you just write clear if you are able to see so that I can proceed? Okay, so I'll go ahead with it. So, for example, if a student is getting so hourly wage is $14 in Ontario. Okay, so if it is 14, let's multiply that by 55. It's around 770 an hour, 770 rupees an hour. Now, if you go ahead with 20 hours per week, because Canada government is giving 20 hours a week for per every student. So if you go with that, it is 20 hours into 770, which is like a week's earning that on hourly basis you're getting 15,400. This is a minimum wage, which is fixed by the Canadian government. Okay. So if you consider around 5 weeks of time, it will be around 77,000. So now it's quite clear why students want to go to Canada, because this is the earning that students are getting. And keep this in mind that this is the minimum wage, not even the highest. This is just the minimum wage. Okay. So part-time opportunity is really good, and it is not just inside the campus, also off campus, on campus, both are allowed in case of Canada. Okay. I hope this is clear. Now let's go to next. So once you're done with your studies, the next thing that comes to mind is your job. So after you're done with your studies, you need to get a good job. So for that, Canada government is actively giving a post-study work visa. So once you're done with your job, you can apply for a post-study work visa, depending on which course you have done. Okay. So for that, the universities help you with the CV making, with the interviews, how the Canada requirements are there. They will groom you accordingly. This is the additional benefit that you get as a Canada student. And there are job fairs. Unlike in India, we have placements, we have job fairs over there. And also due to co-op program, and I think someone was having a doubt with the co-op program. So co-op program is cooperative program. It's more like a practical experience that a student gets. You get a chance to work with some organizations in Canada, like some companies, which is same as what you are studying, and you get a practical experience on that. And most of the time, if the company are absorbed to those companies, so they get a job alongside when they are studying. You have a semester of co-op education. At that time only, if you fare well, they do take you for that. Okay. So that is the benefit for as if you see from a job perspective. Now, the next thing which everyone is excited about, and most of the students come with a question, uh, everyone wants to know about a permanent residency. So Canada is one of the easier countries to get permanent residency. So, and if you are going to study there, you have a higher chance of getting a permanent residency, because once you study you get a post work visa, then you can do your job, and accordingly with the employer you're working, you can start applying for permanent residency. So these are the reasons why someone wants to go to Canada. Now we here in Grassroots will help you achieve your dreams of going to Canada in these following processes. So this is in short, I'm giving you the idea about how the Canada process will be. So once you are interested to go with us and you want to apply to Canada, you have made up your mind. The first thing that we do is we'll call the student, and we will have an idea about the profile the student is having. So depending on your profile, you can we can start with the shortlisting of the course or university. So many a times student is not sure what the student wants to take. Like if a computer science student, he or she comes to me and asks, "Ma'am, I'm not sure what I want to do next, but I don't want to do coding, or I want to do coding. I want to do more of a management thing." So we give you that counseling, that what kind of thing will be good for you depending on the profile and the experience that you have had. So depending on that, we will shortlist your course or university. Then the next process is, once we are shortlisted, you can go ahead and select the university that you want to go. After that, we can start with the application process. Now, there are two types of applications. One is a conditional application. Okay, so what does that mean? A conditional application means where you have not done your IELTS and you want to apply. So you can start with the process. After that, Once you have done with your conditional application, you can wait for an offer. But many a times the university is not ready if a student is not ready to give the IELTS. So you need to give your IELTS first and foremost. But you can meanwhile start the process of application if the university allows you to. Okay. Once that is done, the next thing is we have to wait for the offer. The offer will come from the university. So the sooner you apply, you have a higher chance of getting the offer and the scholarship. So scholarship is like they have announced an n number of scholarships. So if n number of students have already come, they don't have a scholarship to give to the next person, right? So you should grab the opportunity really soon. And next is once you're done with the offer, you may get a conditional or an unconditional offer. So just like how I mentioned, conditional application, you get a conditional offer, which means there may be some conditions like your IELTS is not done. So by that time, you have to submit your IELTS. So after that, once you're done with your offer and your conditions are all cleared, you get an unconditional offer. The next step is offer acceptance and the payment of tuition fees to the university. Now, see, one thing you should be clear about is the offer is not a guarantee that you're getting a seat. Offer is just that they're okay with your profile and they're ready to give you the offer and they are ready to give you a seat in their university. But that does not mean that they will give you the seat. For that, you have to make the payment and you have to accept the offer. Then only your seat is secured. Because there may be hundreds of students who are applying, only there are 50 seats, then the first 50 students who are applying are going to get it. So many a times, many students come, they wait for they get the offer and they think they maybe it is fixed, and they wait for the acceptance. And if it's in January, by the time they accept it, it's already gone. Then you can only go for the next intake, which is May, right? So that is the next step. Once that is done, once you have accepted the offer, once you have paid the tuition fee, you can be somewhat relaxed that you have a seat now. You have confirmed the seat. Now, the next thing is GIC account application and the financial documents. Okay. So now GIC is something special in Canada, which means a guaranteed investment certificate, which is somewhat like a short term investment. To an account in Canada. Okay. So once you have filled those applications and once you have sent that amount, which will be around some $10,000 to $15,000 for a student for an year, after you land in Canada, you can start using that amount from GIC account. Okay. It's somewhat like a small investment, like an FD. It's not completely like an FD, but similar to that. So this is a mandatory that you have to do. You have to send this amount to the GIC account in Canada. Once that is done and once your seat is secured, now the next thing that comes is your medical examination. We will guide you which place you can go for the medical examination depending on the university and the visa rules. You can go and get your medical examination done, and once everything is good to go, we can start with the visa filing. So once visa is filed, you are ready to go. Okay. So the next thing is definitely book a flight and you can go. And good news is on 20th October, Canada government has announced that students are welcome to come. The borders are opening. So hopefully in Jan, most of the students would be able to fly. So I'll show you the links of which all universities are there in that going forward. Okay. So now the next thing is what are the intakes in Canada? So Canada has three intakes. One is September, January, May. So the intake starts from September. Now, so the next intake is January, but most of the seats is almost full for January. So I think whoever is going to come for this uh, Canada process, they can start with the May intakes. Some can go for January if the seats are available. And also Canada has small intakes of July and October, but there are very limited seats for that. Now I'll answer some of the questions that I can see in the comments, and then I'll go with the FAQs. So So students are asking, is there a job offer to apply for work permit? So you need to apply for the work permit once you are done with your course. It's a post-work study, right? So once you are done with the course, you have to apply for that. Okay, then I can see some students are asking about okay, some nursing and all. Okay, Rusi and nurse. Okay, so Rusi, there are ample opportunities, but I need to see your profile before telling you which university or which course you can go for. And yes, you can take your family. It will be a dependent visa that you can take them, and even they get a part-time work um, benefits also. Okay. So I think now I will go with the FAQs that most of you will be having the same questions, I guess. So the first question is how many backlogs are allowed for Canadian institutions? So any guesses? How many backlogs are allowed? Just type on the comment. So okay, so job visa. Okay. Hmm. So any guesses? So the maximum number of backlogs depends on the individual and the Canadian institutions. So I think Dona has answered 5. Great. 3. Okay. So it depends on the university. So if it is a college, mostly 6 to 8 backlogs are agreed. And some college institutions like Constoga, where like Dickinson, Vancouver, Durham, etc., they allow till 10 also. And individual to individual, sometimes if it's a medical issue or something, some are waived off also. And if it is a 3-year degree, 6 backlogs, 4-year degrees, 8 backlogs. So it changes. It will be almost similar to the 6 to 10, and some colleges going up to 10 backlogs. Okay. So the next question is post study work visa. I think someone is asking backlog means gap. No, backlog doesn't mean gap. Backlog means when you're doing your college certificate, the bachelor certificate, how many times you have got a backlog in the final total. In the final certificate, the backlogs will be marked, right? So how many you have done, how many you have retaken as such. Okay, so the next one is what is post study work visa? So the next thing is post study work visa. As I mentioned earlier, post study work visa is a great benefit that the Canadian government is giving to the students, but it is only applicable for those students who are going for 8 months, more than 8 months. Less than 8 months course, like short duration courses, they are not eligible for post study work visa. You have to go for a course which is more than 8 months. And the number of months you are going to study, the same number of months you're going to get as a post work visa. So, for example, if you're going for a 10 months of work study, you will get a 10 months of post work visa. Okay. And if you're going for a 2 years course, mostly a master's course, 2 years course, and sometimes you have a postgraduate also 2 years course. In that case, you will be entitled for a 3 years of post study work visa, which is a great thing. Like 3 years, like if you're going in 2021, you're going to stay for 5 years if you're going to go for a 2 years course. So that is a great benefit that you get as a foreign student. Okay. So once that is done, next question is, do you think students require to clear GRE, SAT, ACT requirements? So the answer to this is GRE are required by some universities, not all universities, and mostly for masters. If you're going for a PG diploma, mostly GRE is not required. IELTS is the only requirement where you need to score 6.5 with no band less than 6. Okay. And some courses have higher requirements like 7. That is in case of very less number of courses like a physiotherapy course or some specialist courses. Okay. So next is, what are the financial documents required for visa? This is a very important question. All the students struggle with this thing. Like, what is the financial documents? So financial documents that is required for Canada is, first is the IT returns of last 2 years with Form 16 if you are a working person. If you are a student fresh out of college, this is not required. But in case you are working, you have to show this as a proof that you are working. And next is the bank balance in savings account, the updated statement. So if you have taken a loan, you need to put that amount in your savings, the education loan amount, And then you have to show the savings account bank balance, which should be an updated statement. And the next is your EPF, PPF, GPF statements. That statement is enough. You don't need to take it out and show it. No, it is fine if you just show the statement of PPF, GPF, and all. You don't need to transfer that to your savings account or anything, but you need to show that you're well off with your financials and you do have the enough amount for 1 year of living expense as well as 1 year of tuition fees. So having a fixed deposit, that also you can show. I'll tell you next who all can sponsor. But if you have a fixed deposit in your name, your parents' name, that's fine. You can show that. You don't need to break it. You can just show that. You can take a print of that and show it to the um, visa. Okay. Next is a loan letter from nationalizer. This is for all the students who are taking the education loan. So you need to show a loan letter that you have genuinely taken a loan. And next is guaranteed investment certificate, which I mentioned earlier, the GIC. Okay. So the GIC is you have to do the application, you have to fill the application, then you have to make the tuition fee payment. And after that, you have to go for the GIC certificate. So that certificate, once you make the payment there and you have done that GIC payment to the Canadian institution, after that you'll get an investment certificate from them, which you need to show as a proof before you can file the visa. Okay. So next is who can sponsor you. So ideally, the students' parents can sponsor, or you can take a loan in your name, a education loan, and that is fine. And even okay, your spouse, your siblings, your own siblings can sponsor, but you cannot, your cousins cannot sponsor, or your uncle, aunts cannot sponsor. And even if you want to do a sponsorship from a third party, only 30% is advisable. More than that, there is a high risk for visa. Okay. So make sure you are taking mostly from a loan or your parents or from your spouse, siblings, paternal, maternal, grandparents, and all. Okay. And even if you want to go for a third party sponsorship, then who is other than these people, then it should be not more than 30%, should be less than 30%. Okay. Now, the next is what is the difference between co-op and internship? So I think this most of the students are now clear. Can I see what you have understood from co-op and internship? After that, I'll go to the answer. Can I just have a look what understanding you have got of co-op? Okay. Okay. So in Canada, they yeah, okay, I think some are having confusion with co-op. So co-op education is cooperative education basically. It is more like a practical knowledge of the subject that you're studying. Unlike in India, most of the times when you are studying, you are going for a theoretical study. There you get a hands-on experience and an industry experience. It's like a practical program. Yeah, Sadhna, you're right. Yes. So it is a opportunity to gain work experience. So tomorrow in the future also that helps you because it's a work experience that you can write in your resume. So this is alongside your studies, like for a semester or for 2 semesters, they will have a co-op education. Okay. Yes, Donna, Dheeraj, yeah, you are right. So next is internship. So internship is not like co-op. It is a shorter duration one. It is usually done in the summer vacations and all. It is around 15 days to 20 days. Okay. The next question that is, are the universities open for the students enrolling for this intake? So this is the question almost 100% of the students ask. So the good news for you is recently on October 20th, they have enlisted some universities that are the designated learning institutions. You can find the details in this with the university name. So almost most of the universities are there who are going to follow the requirements that the government has asked them to. So so you can once you get the visa, you actually can go. So hopefully in Jan 2021 intake, most of the all the students will be going. Um, so that is a good news for all the students. Okay, I think we are out of time now. Still, I'll take some questions if you want. You can just type in the comment section. Okay. So some students are asking about some gaps that they're having in the profile. Okay, Aditya, I'm 5 years gap after plus two. So I would require to know the gap, why the gap is there, and it is depending on the individual's profile and gap, what is the reason, and depending on that only I can suggest which university will allow. So it changes from each individual to individual, but yeah, lot number of gaps is not preferable by for Canada visa. It will be a tougher thing for you. But it depends what kind of gap you're having. If it's a medical gap or something, if you have a proof of that, it won't be that big a issue. But still, gap is not preferable. Okay, then I can see. Does the ladder balance? Yeah, so I think Nisar has a question like he's having experience. Yes, experience is also counted when we apply. You need to show that. So depending on your experience and your academic performance is what we will be able to shortlist the universities. The universities also select you on basis of that. Okay, so so those students who are interested and want to ask more questions and want to go for the application processes can fill in the form which is in the below, which is provided there. Okay, you can see that. So you can fill in that and then we will be calling you and we will reach out to you. Okay. So thank you everyone. Have a safe day. Have a great day ahead. Thank you. Bye.